Hello my friends, today I'm going to show you another trick in Canva for when you want to set up your words to make them a little bit easier to read in your design. So for this example, we're going to use these 3 lines of text. U is its own field, make it as its own field, and easy. And what we want to do is make it have a border around it so that it goes into the word, the big black words, in a way that makes it a little bit easier to read, especially if you're doing this all in one color. So, of course, you can always change the font color, excuse me, later, but for the purposes of this, I made them 2 separate colors so you could see what I'm doing. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on the text line that you want to have the border around it. So we're going to go up here to Effects, and then we're going to go to Outline. And of course, we're going to change the outline to white. Now, you can make this as thick or as thin as you want. So for the purposes of this, we're going to do 25. So you can still see the letters behind it, but it's not, it's not too thick. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make this a touch bigger so it looks a little bit better. Make sure it's centered. And see how it has the white line around it? But you can still see the parts of the letter, like here, where you can still see the O behind it. If I was using a different font, you could see the divot in the Y, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows what that is. So we could even move it down a little bit. Of course, now I want to change the font. Hold on. So now we're going to just change this to a thicker font. And we will use Sergio Trendy. Okay? So this way, when you use Sergio Trendy up, it obviously looks like it's supposed to. We're going to make this Sergio Trendy too because I like things too much. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to go in, and since you can't really, you can just download this and use it, but one of the things you want is to be able to get rid of that white line, right? So one option, of course, is to just make the whole thing bigger so it fills up the square. Less work for you later. And then you can just save it, which you're not going to be able to really see because, of course, that's outside of my line. So in theory, we could do transparent background and hit download and see what happens. My 8 billion things. Okay, so to know if this worked, we're going to go and we're going to make another page, and we're going to make the background a dark color, and then we are going to upload, there it is, the image we just made. I use Canva a lot, obviously. Okay, now as this loads, you can see in the thumbnail that that white is still there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, drop it into there, and change the background because apparently I forgot that I used black text. And then what we're going to do now is we are going to get rid of this white text. And by doing that, we are going to the space, but don't have to see the white line. The good thing about Canva is you can just do background remover, and you're saying, Connie, there is no background on this, but there is, so just watch. See how it made the white line go away, but it still goes into the text, right? So if we change this background to white, you'll be able to see that it comes out exactly like you want. Of course, if you want to do this with one color font, then you're just going to have to go to your original, change this font color to whatever it is that you want, so it matches and makes it easier on you in Cricut Though if you just do this as a cut file in Cricut, it'll like it just fine. And do the same thing. Download it with a transparent background, upload it to a blank page, remove background, and you'll have your design. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope this was helpful. Thanks. Bye.